seas. NPP government vows to end past corruption. Minister Bimal Ratnayaka gives an assurance.
අපි පක්ෂයක් ලෙසම self අපිට ස්වයංව පිරිසුදු කරන පක්ෂයක් අපි. ඒ නිසා ඒගොල්ලන් අසරණ වෙලා ඉන්නේ. මොකද ඒගොල්ලන්ට පාවිච්චි කරගන්න පුළුවන් જાතියේ වැරදි අපි කරන්නේ නැහැ අපේ.
Namal Rajapaksa compares government to pickpockets.
Pickpocket කාර්යය pickpocket එක ගහලා දුවනවා. ආණ්ඩුවත් pickpocket න්‍යාය තමයි අනුගමනය කරන්නේ. අනිත් අයට හොරා කියලා කියනවා.
Deputy Minister Ruan responds with a pledge to enforce the law.
මේ රටේ ජනතාව අපිට බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ දීපර හොරා කාපුවට නීති ක්‍රියාත්මක. Namal Rajapaksa මහත්මයා අපි ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්නේ ඒක.
SJB reps joined fishermen's satyagraha on day 4.
නම්බරේ දෙන්න කතා කරන්නේ.
Parliamentarian Dayasiri Joysekara met with public protests and hooting in Kobegane. Siabok to investigate complaint by suspended Parliament Secretary General and complaint against Speaker.
In your top story tonight, further investigations into the 3 rocket launchers discovered hidden in Kodumbimalai, Chennai have been handed over to the Criminal Investigation Department. This directive was issued by the Inspector General of Police, Priyantha Veerasurya. Meanwhile, security forces said the information was received through a tip-off from a foreign country.
3 rocket launchers reportedly buried during the war were discovered in Chennai yesterday. Police stated that the launchers had been previously buried in the Kodumbimalai area in Chennai before an individual had reportedly unearthed them and hidden them elsewhere in the same vicinity before they were seized by authorities. The security forces stated that these weapons were found on the grounds of the Sundar base camp belonging to the LTTE. This was despite the fact that the weapons had been buried. It is against this backdrop that the Swedish-made 84mm RCL M2 rocket launcher weapons have been handed over to the Criminal Investigation Department on the orders of the IGP.
Minister of Transport, Highways and Urban Development Bimal Ratnayaka states that a guarantee can be provided that no corruption or fraud which occurred during the tenures of current opposition groups will take place under a National People's Power Administration. Many in the opposition, especially the 2 groups that were involved in governing the country, know the mistakes and wrongs they committed. Since we are making new mistakes, they try to project their own past actions onto us. Instead of correcting their mistakes and trying to become better people than us, they spend the whole year shouting lies to make it seem like we are doing the same things they did. For instance, when Namal Rajapaksa went to the FCID for financial fraud, he came out and gave a voice cut about coal. Why was he at the FCID? He was brought there to give information about a financial fraud he committed. His mother was summoned by the FCID and CID for similar reasons. His uncle has now fled the country to avoid these issues. There's no point in them talking about other things. The people of our country have only known 40 or 50 years of rule by the Rajapaksas, Premadasas and Vikramasinghes. Because of that, people generally think politicians are a set of thieves, liars and nepotists. They assume a National People's Power government would be the same. But we are not. As a party, we have a self-cleansing mechanism. Their strategy is to lie and make noise because of this. They are helpless because our government does not commit the type of mistakes they can exploit.
Meanwhile, SLPP national organizer Namal Rajapaksa states that the current government is levelling accusations against opposition groups while committing corruption and fraud themselves. He made these remarks after participating in a program held in Tiharia this morning.
මම පොලිසිය ඇමතිවරයා කියන්නේ නැත්තේ ගල්ලංගුරු වංචාව සම්බන්ධයෙන් කුඩු කන්ටේනර් දෙක සම්බන්ධයෙන් වරාය පණ්ඩපු කන්ටේනර් 323 සම්බන්ධයෙන් දැඩි නීතිය ක්‍රියාත්මක කරනවා කියලා වෙන්නේ නැති. ජනතාව බලාපොරොත්තු නැහැ ඒක. ඒගොල්ලෝ කියනවානේ මේක තාම ඉවරයක් නැහැ. තාම මේ පටන් ගත්තා විතරයි. ඔය අයම තමයි 2015 දූෂණ මර්දන කමිටුවේ.
These are the same people who, since the 2015 Anti-Corruption Committee, have been summoning us for these very same cases in the exact same way. They are still summoning us. We say, come ahead, summon us anytime, and we will show up. As I said before, if necessary, I'll even bring the dog wearing the 90 sovereign gold necklace. This is the pickpocket theory. A pickpocket steals a wallet and then starts running while pointing at an ordinary person, shouting, "Look, there goes a pickpocket." In the end, the innocent man gets beaten up while the real pickpocket escapes. This government is following that same pickpocket theory. They label everyone else as thieves to hide their own actions.
pickpocket න්‍යාය තමයි අනුගමනය කරන්නේ. අනිත් අයට හොරා කියලා කියනවා.
This is the NPP's response to the allegations made by Namal Rajapaksa.
අපේ ජනවරම ඇතුළේ හොරකමට වංචාවට එරෙහිව ඡන්දය දුන්නු ජනතාව ඉන්නේ.
We have a public mandate from the people who voted against theft and fraud. We promised the people that we would act against the clique that has been plundering the wealth and property of this country throughout history. We promised that the law would be applied fairly to everyone. These days, we see certain remnants of the past appearing before the media and accusing us of political victimization. I saw that Namal Rajapaksa was summoned to the CID recently, as was his mother, Shiranti Rajapaksa. Every time they appear, they claim this is an attempt to take revenge on them or to cover up the promises we made to the people. Namal Rajapaksa, what the people of this country expect from us was the enforcement of the law against those who stole public property. That is exactly what we are implementing. Today, the law operates fairly for everyone, regardless of status, whether they are high or low, or whether they possess wealth and power. This applies to Ranil Wickremesinghe, it applies to Sajid Premadasa, and it applies to Namal Rajapaksa. The law is fair to all. Therefore, no matter how much you whine or complain, the law will be enforced against everyone who devastated this country and misappropriated the property of its people. Why does Namal Rajapaksa have to go to the CID and FCID? Their own conscience know who they were dealing with in the past, how they conducted themselves, and which underworld leaders or drug traffickers stood behind them.
මත්ද්‍රව්‍ය ජාවාරකාරයෝ කවුද කියන එක ඒගොල්ලෝගේ හද සාක්ෂි දානවා.
The fisher folk staging a satyagraha and hunger strike say that gillnet fishing using tractors does not cause any harm to the ecosystem. The satyagraha, which commenced in front of the Presidential Secretariat, continued for the 4th consecutive day today. Members of the Samagi Janabalawegya arrived today as well to meet with the fisher folk taking part in the protests.
Fisherfolk from several areas began a hunger strike opposite the Presidential Secretariat on the 5th, demanding the government lift the ban imposed on gillnet fishing using tractor-mounted machinery. Claiming that authorities had failed to provide any solution, they subsequently began a satyagraha at the site. Today, on the 4th day of the protest, former Fisheries Minister and Samagi Janabalawegya MP Dilip Vedaarachi arrived at the scene.
I am a gillnet fisherman myself. My father's family has done this for 7 generations. I am the 5th generation in this industry. I explained this to the Minister and Deputy Minister and the Director General in Parliament while they were all listening. This industry dates back to when kings ruled this country. These groups were stationed around the island to protect the land. Those people placed there for security created these nets to catch fish for their food. I asked these mad people to examine these things closely.
Meanwhile, MP Hector Puhami also joined the protest.
මේ ඩිප්මන්තුමයි මේ පස්සේ මගේ හෙට දවසට අපොයින්ට්මන්ට් එකක් ඉල්ලගෙන ආවා. ඒකට ඒක කතා කරලා අපොයින්ට්මන්ට් එක අපිට දෙයි. අපි දෙන්නගෙන් කතා කරමු.
The group then walked towards the presidential secretariat to arrange a meeting with an official. Meanwhile, a group of fishermen engaged in a protest at the Periyapadua beach in Mundalama today, opposing the use of gillnet fishing using tractors. They point out that the recent use of gillnet fishing using tractors in the Puttlam district has caused severe damage to the environment and natural resources.
It is causing massive damage to our sea and our coast. They cast their nets 5 or 5.5 kilometers out at great depths. When the nets are hauled in by tractors, they dig in and destroy the entire seabed. We aren't against gillnet fishing. We are specifically protesting against the use of tractors. The real reason the coast and the sea are being destroyed by tractors is the fault of previous governments. To be honest, if they had enforced the law properly, these gillnet owners wouldn't have to be out here protesting today. They could have continued their traditional fishing methods. It is because of the weakness of past administration that things have reached this state. Therefore, the current government needs to think wisely, and we should actually be thankful to the government for the decision they have taken regarding this matter.
The Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption has decided to look into a complaint filed by the suspended Chief of Staff and the Deputy Secretary General of Parliament Chaminda Kumara Kularatne against Speaker Dr. Jagat Wickramaratne. Meanwhile, the Commission has also reportedly decided to investigate a separate complaint filed against the suspended Chaminda Kumara Kularatne.
Chaminda Kumara Kularatne, Chief of Staff and Deputy Secretary General of Parliament, was suspended for allegedly providing false information about his previous service period and causing financial loss to the government by receiving a salary above the prescribed scale for his post during a one-year probationary appointment. The suspension was decided at the Parliamentary Staff Advisory Committee meeting on the 23rd of January and communicated in a letter signed by Parliamentary Secretary General Kushani Rohanadira. The Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption has confirmed it will investigate a complaint related to Kularatne's appointment. Meanwhile, the Commission will also examine a complaint filed by the suspended Kularatne against the Speaker.
In recent days, opposition groups were seen participating in various protests and satyagrahas organized by trade unions and other organizations over several issues. The ongoing protest by gillnet fisherfolk and the recently concluded protest by development officers attached to schools are the most recent examples. However, against such a backdrop, representatives of these opposition groups are also facing significant public backlash. A video is currently circulating on social media showing Samagishana Balawege, Member of Parliament Dayasiri Jayasekara, being met with a wave of public protest in Kobegane, Kurunagala.
Newsfirst with the people. It has been over 2 months since Cyclone Ditwa swept through our nation. Yet, for many, the shadows of the disaster remains. The people of our country continue to endure significant hardships, and the weight of their suffering has not yet lightened. However, amidst this adversity, the spirit and resilience of these communities remain unbroken. Driven by their unwavering courage, Gammadda has stepped forward to stand by them through the Gammadda Care and Dare initiative, a mission dedicated to restoring hope and rebuilding lives.
Our hope is for a nation rising again, rebuild and recover. This is the massive step taken by Gammadda to uplift the lives of those affected by Cyclone Ditwa. In collaboration with the Mindero Foundation of Australia, one of the world's largest philanthropic organizations, the Noora Elliott district phase of the Gammadda Care and Dare operation concluded successfully today. The final program of this stage was held at the Kurunduwatta Royal College in Gampola. Throughout the day, people who are striving to rise again after being battered by the cyclone were given the opportunity to access a wide range of essential services and food items, all under one roof. The Gammadda team, led by Yasarat Kamalsiri, CEO of MTV Channel Private Limited and Deputy Leader of Gammadda, was joined by several distinguished guests, including Divisional Secretary of Ganga Ihala Korale, SMC Samarakon, Assistant Divisional Secretary Tushari Rajapaksa, Principal of Kurunduwatta Royal College SDK Karunanayaka, and Sub-Inspector Tissa Jairatna of the Kurunduwatta Police. How valuable is the Gammadda Care and Dare program to the affected people of Ganga Ihala Korale? Here are the views expressed by the Divisional Secretary.
As one of the hardest hit areas in the Kandy district, rebuilding these lives is an immense challenge. No matter how hard we try as government officials, our efforts alone are not enough to fully stabilize their lives. We need the support of other organizations. I believe that is where the Gammadda special program comes in. We have seen the Gammadda program for years. They truly go into the heart of the villages to find the people's problems and implement projects. In this current crisis, Gammadda is standing with the people to ease their sorrow through the Care and Dare initiative.
A health zone, a nutrition pack distribution zone and a sanitation kit distribution zone were established today at the Kurunduwatta Royal College premises. Additionally, zones for the distribution of essential dry rations, water filters and household appliances including gas cookers were active throughout the day for our people.
We have seen and heard on television how Gammadda travels to the most difficult areas of this country to serve the helpless. Because of that reputation, I most willingly offered this school for the program. The catchment area of our school falls within the Ganga Ihala Korale Divisional Secretariat, so the benefits reaching the Secretariat reach our children as well. I'm very happy to have participated and provided our school for this cause.
In the legal services zone, implemented with the support of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, people were able to resolve issues related to certificates, documents and identity cards. As usual, the National Apprentice and Industrial Training Authority partnered with Gammadda Care and Dare today to provide essential vocational guidance for those looking to rebuild their livelihoods.
පින්වතේ වැඩක් මේ කරන්නේ හැමෝටම මේ වගේ වෙලාවක උදව් කරන එක ඒ ජනතාව වශයෙන් අපි සූතිවන්ත වෙන්න ඕන ගම්මැද්දට. කරුවොත් හොඳ වැඩක් කරන්නේ අපිට මේ වැටලා ඉන්න අවස්ථාවේදී මේක මේ වගේ දීපේක අපිට ලොකු අරවෙන්නපත් වෙනවා.
What is the next objective of the Gammadda Care and Dare operation?
We are providing the support necessary to uplift you, those who have faced accidents, lost property, been displaced and faced various hardships. Our next goal is to help you rebuild. This camp operates in two parts. The first is providing the strength and courage to stand up again. In another month, we will begin the actual rebuilding phase. For all this, we need the support of state officials and various institutions. This isn't something Gammadda can do alone. We could not succeed without the sponsorship provided by the Mindero Foundation of Australia. I must also extend my deepest gratitude to the staff of Gammadda, Newsfirst, the Parliamentary Broadcasting Complex, Stein Studios and the WeForce members who sacrificed their weekends for weeks to make this camp a success.
The sixth program of the Gammadda Care and Dare operation, which began in Kothmale, concluded successfully today, benefiting thousands of people. We are prepared to bring you the details of the next Gammadda Care and Dare program very soon. Let us protect each other. Let us rise together. Gammadda, for the people, by the people.
A large number of devotees from across the island are currently arriving at the Hunupitiya Gangarame temple in Colombo to pay their respects to the Devni Mori's sacred Sarvanya relics.
The sacred Sarvanya relics, discovered some time ago at the Devni Mori archaeological site in Gujarat, India, have been brought to the Hunupitiya Gangarame temple. This marks the very first time these sacred relics have been taken outside of India.
මේ සර්වඥ ධාතු ප්‍රදර්ශනය අපේ බෞද්ධ ජනතාවට වැඩපුදා ගන්න අවස්ථාවක් සැලසීම ගැන රජයටත් ඒ වගේම ගංගාරාම විහාරාධිපතිතුමාටත් අපි සූතිවන්ත වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒ වැඩ කටයුතු ටික කරගෙන යාමට ඒ සංවිධානය කිරීමට ආරක්ෂක අමාත්‍යාංශයේ සියලුම දායකත්වය අපි ලබා දුන්නා.
බොහොම කලාතුරකින් දකින්න ලැබෙන දෙයක්. ඉතින් ගංගාරාම විහාරස්ථානයේ මැදිහත් වෙලා මේ ධාතු වඩම්මලා මම හිතනවා අපි හැමෝටම හොඳ අවස්ථාවක් ලබා දීලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් බෞද්ධ හැටියට මේක දැක බලා ගන්න ලැබීම ගැන අපි ගොඩක් පිං.
Here are the views of the devotees who came to worship the Devni Mori Sarvanya relics.
ධාතුන් වහන්සේ වන්දිනවට ගොඩාක්ම සන්තෝෂයි සතුටුයි. දෙවෙනි වතාවට මම ධාතුන් වහන්සේ වන්දින්න ආවේ. මට ගොඩාක් සතුටුයි. ගොඩාක් සතුටුයි ඇත්තට මේ වගේ ධාතුන් වහන්සේලා වන්දනා කරගෙන ලැබීම ගැන ගොඩාක් පිං.
ජීවමාන බුදුන් දැකීමේ අවස්ථාව අපිට අහිමි වුණා අපේ ජීවිත කාලේ. නමුත් ජීවමාන බුදුන් දැක්කා වගේ තමයි උන්වහන්සේගේ සර්වඥ ධාතු අපිට වන්දනා කරන්න ලැබීම.
මේ අත්දැකීම කරු ලොකු පිනක් විදිහට හිතනවා.
ජනාධිපතිතුමාට ගොඩාක් පිං සිද්ධ වෙනවා මේ අවස්ථාව ලබා දුන්නට අපිට.
මම බුදුන් දැක්කා වගේම මට සන්තෝෂයක් ආවා මේ දැක්කම.
අපි තාමත්ම හොඳින් පහසුවෙන් වෙඳ පුදාගත්තා මේ අවස්ථාව ලබා දීම ගැන. ඇත්තටම අපි ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා හැමෝටම මේ පින් බලෙන් මේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවටම යහපතක් සිද්ධ වේවා කියලා ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා.
The public will have the opportunity to worship the sacred relics until 7 a.m. on the 11th of February.
Local postal charges have been revised with effect from tomorrow. Accordingly, the Department of Post stated that the minimum postage rate of 50 rupees will be increased to 70 rupees. The basic weight category for ordinary and business letter services have been revised from 20 grams to 30 grams. The Department of Post further noted that the charges for the distribution of promotional leaflets have been categorized based on whether the delivery is within the local delivery zone or to an external delivery zone. Furthermore, the maximum weight allowed for a single leaflet or a set of leaflets has been increased from 100 grams to 120 grams. Today marks the 36th day of the second phase of the LOSC Divi Savia You, Me and Our Nation social welfare program. This program, which is being implemented with the aim of renovating 200 schools damaged by Cyclone Ditwa, focused its activities today across the Kurunegala, Ratnapura, Kegalle and Badulla districts.
The renovated buildings of the Northwest Vishwalok Vidyalaya and the Shri Piyaratna Mahavidyalaya in Kurunegala were officially handed over to the students today. The renovated facilities at the Madava Udumulla Vidyalaya and the Saraswati Tamil Vidyalaya in Kurunegala were vested in the students. The renovated buildings of the Udamakadavara Primary School and the Manikava Junior School in Mavanalla were also handed over to the students this morning. The renovations at the Alpitia Junior Vidyalaya and Balimanna Shri Sunanda Vidyalaya in Mavanalla were handed over to the students in this manner. Renovated structures at the Pathagama Mahavidyalaya and Sibali Mahavidyalaya in Ratnapura were also vested in the students. The renovated buildings of the Glen Alpin Tamil Vidyalaya and the Siri Malguda Mahavidyalaya in Badulla were handed over to the students as follows. Furthermore, the renovated facilities at the Uva Katavala Tamil Vidyalaya and Hathakma Vidyalaya in Badulla were officially handed over to the students today.
Kalapula, Sri Lanka's annual open-air art fair, marks its 33rd anniversary today, celebrating over 3 decades of fostering livelihoods of Sri Lankan visual artists.
Every year, this street that I'm standing here right now is filled with color, passion, talent, emotions and feelings.
Yes, Vinuji, for the 33rd edition, the biggest open-air art festival is back in Colombo.
This is Kalapula 2026.
Kalapula takes inspiration from the world-famous outdoor art fairs in Montmartre, Paris and the Tulle Street Art Festival in Oxford and has evolved as an eagerly awaited event of the art and culture calendar of Sri Lanka. Kalapula is a major tourist attraction, having established itself as one of Colombo's iconic art festivals. This year's event showcased the works of over 400 local artists hailing from different provinces of Sri Lanka.
අවුරුදු 15ක් වගේ මම මේ දිගු කාලයක් කලාපොළටම සහභාගී වෙලා තියෙනවා. කලාපොළ ඇත්තට හොඳයි. ඉතින් ආටිස්ට්ලාට ලොකු ලංකාවේ තියෙන ලොකුම මේ අතදීම. මම මේ තුන්වෙනි වතාවට තමයි මේ කලාපොළට සම්බන්ධ වෙන්නේ. හොඳ අවස්ථාවක් චිත්‍ර ශිල්පීන්ට කස්ටමර්ස්ලා ඒකට ගන්න ක්ලයන්ට්ලා ඒකට හොඳ ලොකු අවසරයක් තියෙනවා මේ
means actually a lot to me because I work really hard on this. I also work separately and like finding time to do this is it's like another feeling and I feel very relieved and all I feel happy, sir.
Good to be here and also it's good through art we explore our lives and situations in our lives and who we really are. So now we have about 12 to 14 in the class and if you look around, the art is all different because each person's vibe is there in their painting.
Marc-Andre Fronch, the UN resident coordinator in Sri Lanka, graced the official closing ceremony of the event as the chief guest. Conceptualized and introduced by the George Keat Foundation in 1993 and co-presented by the John Kills Group since 1994, Kalapula has grown into a cultural landmark that continues to reshape how visual art is showcased and experienced in Sri Lanka.
St. Thomas's College, Mount Lavinia marked a historic milestone yesterday with the official launch of the 175th anniversary commemorative publication titled Enduring Works, The Thomian Journey. The 175th anniversary commemorative publication of St. Thomas's College, Mount Lavinia was officially launched yesterday. Titled Enduring Works, The Thomian Journey, the publication marks a significant milestone in the institution's long and distinguished history.
What we have today is something nothing short of, I think, a miracle because of all the hard work that has gone inside. This book is not necessarily a coffee table book. It is not just for pictures, but it has in it a good substance of the history of Sri Lanka. My requirement and my suggestion to the author was that I'd like to see how St. Thomas's influenced society and how the society influenced St. Thomas's over the 175 years. And that is what started the journey, and now we are here celebrating its publication and it coming out.
An introduction to the publication was delivered by Professor Sandhikaumi Kopraheva, a senior professor at the University of Colombo.
The current volume, The Enduring Works, The Thomian Journey, is another landmark in the long tradition of documenting the history of the college. What sets this volume apart is not only its historical narrative. It is firmly grounded in the original archives, archival research, enriched by rare photographs, and shaped by carefully constructed account supported by endnotes at the end of each chapter. Most importantly, the story of the college is not told in isolation. It is placed within the wider socio-historical context of the country, allowing us to see how St. Thomas's College both responded to the changing intellectual, cultural and social currents of Sri Lanka's over 175 years.
Why our school history is important? There are three aspects to such institutions which explain why they are. The first lies in the origins of these institutions. This includes the aims for which they were established and whether or not these objectives aligned with the prevalent social attitudes and aspirations of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate 175 years of an institution and as we reflect on how we should celebrate the foundation that we should lay for the institutions like this school, perhaps that is a lesson that we can all take to heart. That at the core of schools with long histories should be a constant balance, always, between a striving for excellence and a striving for happiness.
Students, educators, generations of Thomians and well-wishers came together to honor the college's rich legacy. The Mercedes-Benz Pageant 2026 themed 35 years of timeless elegance was held in Colombo today. More than a gathering of vehicles, this signature event is a curated showcase of the evolution of the three-pointed star, highlighting the intersection of heritage and high-tech innovation. Organized by the Mercedes-Benz Club of Sri Lanka in collaboration with DEMO, the authorized general distributor, the pageant underscores the strength of the brand's local footprint. The grounds witnessed a breathtaking fleet of over 600 cars, meticulously maintained and representing every era of German engineering. Sri Lanka witnessed the country's first ever full-scale K-pop concert that took place yesterday.
An electrifying wave of K-pop energy swept through Colombo yesterday as Sweet CH, the rising South Korean boy group, delivered what was Sri Lanka's first full-scale K-pop concert experience. The event, branded Sweet Day K-pop Live in Concert, drew passionate fans who packed the venue for a day that had been eagerly anticipated across the island. Festivities began early with a daytime festival in the morning, featuring fan activities and crowd interactions, before culminating in a high-energy live performance in the evening.
In international news, elections took place today in Japan and Thailand, with voters in both countries determining the composition of their respective governments. Let's take a look.
Japanese voters headed to the polls today in a snap general election called by Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi just 3 months after she took office. Takaichi is seeking a strong mandate, banking on her personal popularity to revive the fortunes of the ruling Liberal Democratic Party, which currently governs through a fragile coalition. Opinion polls suggest the LDP and its ally could secure more than 300 seats in parliament, strengthening Takaichi's hand as she pushes for higher defense spending and a tougher stance toward China. Polling stations close at 11 p.m. GMT, with results expected shortly after in what could prove to be a defining moment for Japan's political direction. Thailand went to polls in a crucial general election, with voters choosing all 500 members of the House of Representatives, the lower chamber of parliament. Unlike the 2023 election, the unelected Senate, which is the upper house dominated by conservatives, will have no role this time in selecting the next prime minister. The contest is widely seen as a battle between the conservative Nathapong Roempanyawat. Anuthin has said he hopes voters will continue to trust his party, while Nathapong has pledged policies that benefit all, not just for the few. Also in the race is Pheu Thai, backed by former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatра's family. The party is seeking a comeback with Thaksin's nephew, Yotchanan Wongsawat, as its latest standard bearer. Opinion polls suggest no party is on track to win an outright majority, making a coalition government likely. Voters are also deciding on a referendum today on whether to rewrite the military-drafted constitution, which critics say gives too much power to the Senate.
India and Malaysia unveiled several initiatives to further strengthen cooperation in defense, security, semiconductors and trade. The agreements followed wide-ranging talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Malaysian counterpart Anwar Ibrahim.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Malaysian counterpart Anwar Ibrahim renewed pledges today to bolster trade and explore potential collaborations in semiconductors, defense and other fields. Modi is on a 2-day visit to the Southeast Asian nation, his first since the two countries elevated ties to a comprehensive strategic partnership in August 2024. Anwar said the partnership included deep collaborations in multiple fields, including trade and investments, food security, defense, healthcare and tourism. Following their meeting, Anwar and Modi also witnessed the exchange of 11 cooperation agreements, including on semiconductors, disaster management and peacekeeping. Anwar said India and Malaysia would continue efforts to promote the use of local currency settlement for cross-border activities and expressed hope that bilateral trade would surpass last year's $18.6 billion.
The 2026 ICC Men's T20 World Cup match between Sri Lanka and Ireland is currently underway at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo. Ireland won the toss and opted to field first. Sri Lanka put on a total of 163 runs for the loss of 6 wickets, chasing a target of 164 runs. Ireland are currently at 50 runs for the loss of 1 wicket at the end of 7 overs. Meanwhile, two other ICC T20 World Cup matches were played this morning. In the first match of the day, New Zealand defeated Afghanistan by 5 wickets. The match was played in Chennai. Afghanistan, batting first, scored 182 runs for the loss of 6 wickets in their allotted 20 overs. New Zealand reached the target in 17.5 overs for the loss of only 5 wickets down to secure the victory. The second match was played between England and Nepal. England won the match held in Mumbai by a narrow margin of 4 runs. Batting first, England put on 184 runs for the loss of 7 wickets, while Nepal was only able to score 180 runs for the loss of 6 wickets.